Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media, bringing you all kinds of news. We have stories on Daxton Hill. Could he be back in the fold for Michigan? Also the latest on Don Brown. But first, we're going to start with Omari Samuels, Michigan's 2017 running back recruit out of New Mexico, has been dismissed from the football team after he had faced he had a court appearance today in the 15th District Court with charges of one charge of domestic violence and another charge of one count of malicious destruction of property below $200. They classify that as. Both are misdemeanors. So Omari Samuels, 2 seasons in Ann Arbor, definitely disappointed some expectations. I think a lot of people thought when they saw his ranking and also some of his abilities against lesser competition in New Mexico, he could make an impact, potentially be contributing. Only 21 carries, 79 yards, 2/3 of those yards came against the likes of Nebraska, SMU, and Maryland in limited fourth quarter action this year. 3.8 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. His career with Michigan is over. That is our breaking news to lead today's Wednesday, December 12th, Michigan Football Report. Omari Samuels dismissed from the Michigan football program. All right, on to the Wolverines, who are still in Ann Arbor on this football team. Let's take a look at the story on Don Brown. If you saw my emergency press conference this morning talking about the Michigan football bowl skippers, we'll call them that, the bowl skippers, you would have saw that at the end of the show, I reported that Philly.com was bringing a story this morning that said Don Brown was one of 3 finalists and then 2 finalists for the Temple head coaching job. We are now calling that fake news. Not that the report was fake news. Don Brown clearly interviewed for the job, clearly had an interest if he was going to interview in the Temple head football coaching job, but that, the internet fury of Michigan football fans that just like, Don Brown's gone, he's taking this job, yada, yada, yada. That is fake news. Manny Diaz, the defensive coordinator from Miami Hurricanes, will be heading north to Philadelphia. That's where Temple is, right? Yeah, Philadelphia, to take the Temple head coaching job. So for now, Don Brown still the defensive coordinator at the University of Michigan, but you do have to wonder if Don Brown is signaling that he does want to give head coaching another shot before he hangs him up for good as a football coach. So if you see, he has been Michigan's defensive coordinator the last 3 seasons, all of them top 5 defenses overall, including the current #1 defense in America, although Ohio State's offense will tell you differently. Has said, Michigan's going to be my last coaching stop. I want to be part of this big-time winning program. And clearly he looked around for a head coaching job. Also read somewhere that, hey, maybe the only job he would take would be Boston College, but their coach, Steve Adazio, reportedly just got extended. So unlikely that job comes available anytime soon. So Don Brown leaving Michigan, fake news, did interview for it, was a candidate, was a finalist, but the early reports that he was definitely taking it or definitely getting it turned out to be false. So Don Brown still with Michigan football. All right. Here is the story, late breaking. I have not had a chance to double and triple confirm this with my sources, but there's a lot of chatter, some of them credible people out there, some of the blog boys out there. I'll give them their due. They've got some sources, so I'm going to give this one to Harbaugh heads for now. Dax Hill, Michigan, it is not a done deal that he will be with the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2019. There is now a couple reports out there that sources close to Hill, maybe around his family, his high school football program, say that maybe something's changed just in the last 3 or 4 days since he flipped to Alabama on December 8th. Michigan's highest rated 2019 recruit, a guy that many people think could have an opportunity to step in from day one and start next year, potentially by mid-season. Multiple reports, as I was saying, claiming today, Wednesday, that he could still end up signing with Michigan, that although he had originally planned to sign in February, which I always thought was odd if you're going to give your commitment to a school, that if he decided to switch to Michigan, flip it back from Michigan to Alabama, back to Michigan, he could just up and make a decision on Wednesday, sign with Michigan, and get it all over with. A lot of rumors out there that Alabama paid him off, must have dropped $200K in cash on his front doorstep. So I want to ask you guys this question as we mull Michigan, maybe flipping Dax Hill, maybe the check didn't clear, who knows, back to the Wolverines. Do you believe that 4- and 5-star recruits in football, we know we've seen the things out there with basketball, but in football, are paid to attend certain schools? Everyone throws out the $U and the $EC for SEC and Ohio State. Do you think that 4- and 5-star recruits are paid straight cash, homie, to attend certain schools? Give me the thumbs up watching on Facebook Live, or type yes if you're watching on Twitter or YouTube below if you think the cash is flowing towards these recruits like Daxton Hill, or give it a heart or a no if you say no, that no, it's mostly on the up and up when it comes to recruits making their decision. All right, want to hook you guys up with some free Michigan football gear. Santa James is taking care of Michigan Football Report Nation. We got a maize jersey. We've presented before. We've got the blue jersey, the Harbaugh number 4, also the Nico Collins, and then this long sleeve baseball style shirt that I think is awesome. It's an awesome material. It's thicker than one of these dry fit shirts. This is a great shirt. We can hook you up with either of these 3 items if you get started with BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet, promo code GOBLUE. When you do that, you get the jersey or the shirt. You also get a 120% deposit bonus. So imagine this scenario. You get started with BetDSI, first time sports gambling. You put in a 50 spot. You get 60 extra bucks in your account. You DM me on Twitter at James T. Yoder, and you tell me what you did. Hey, James, got hooked up with BetDSI. I'll ask you for your account number, your address, and we will send you the size of your choice Michigan football blue jersey, the maize number 1, or this really cool Michigan football baseball style jersey with a huge block M maize and blue shirt from Jordan Brand. So go ahead, holiday giveaway, Chat Sports BetDSI hooking you up, chatsports.com/bet. You got to use the promo code GOBLUE. Don't let your phone autocorrect to go space blue or anything like that. Go Blue. DM me on Twitter when you got it taken care of. Hundreds of people have done it. You should have no problem at all. It's the Chat Sports BetDSI holiday giveaway. You will be hooked up. We'll get it to you ASAP for Christmas time. So that is the offer. Now, a little more on Daxton Hill, the 5-star safety out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did he ghost Michigan? Did he ghost them? This is what the kids, the Gen Zers, are using this day. Ghosting, which means you're just not going to reply to anybody's text. You're not going to hit them back with their phone calls. You're not replying to them at all. All right, I am giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. From everything that I have heard since the weekend when Hill decommitted from Michigan, is that the Michigan football coaches found out he was decommitting and flipping to Alabama through Twitter. Just like every other schmuck and recruiting fan out there in social media, they found out through Twitter. He hadn't talked to him in 3 or 4 days since they visited with him last week. Saban came in there on Thursday. A lot of rumors out there about what happened, but he walked away from the meeting with Saban deciding to commit to Alabama, and with that, he ghosted Michigan, didn't return the calls or texts for a few days, and then just announced on Twitter that I am going to Alabama. But as we just told you, there's still a chance out there. There's still a chance he could come to Michigan. He's kind of regretting maybe this flip to Alabama. Do you have an iPhone or Android? But this link here is for iPhone. Get hooked up with the show anytime you want. You can watch it for free on the Apple Podcast app. Just type in that link, chatsports.com/Yoder. It'll pop you. Open the app up and drop you right into the podcast app. You press subscribe. You'll know every time we have a new episode. This is our 3rd one today, so you have all the Michigan content you could want. If you know how to use Siri, just press the button and say, "Hey Siri, subscribe to the Michigan Football Report podcast," and that is what will happen. Want to tell you about the Harbaugh heads. If you have not seen the show before, where have you been? But let's review these Harbaugh heads. 0 Harbaugh heads, totally false, fake news, like that Don Brown going to Temple rumor. 1 Harbaugh head, small shred of truth. 2 Harbaugh heads means no great source, but people are talking out there on the internet. If it's 3 Harbaugh heads, means it's pretty likely. And if we give it the 4 Harbaugh heads, that means it's FACK, fact. That is how Jim Harbaugh spells it. That is how we spell fact here at the Michigan Football Report on Chat Sports, Michigan Wolverines on Chat Sports, Facebook Live, YouTube, and watching live on my Twitter account. So how did Nick Saban in Alabama land Daxton Hill, get him to flip from his commitment to Michigan? I'm told that Nick Saban hand recruited Hill, made him one of his biggest priorities following the SEC championship game, and obviously it's only been a little over a week since that happened, but made sure he was talking to Hill, getting to know his parents, getting to know his coaches over the last few weeks, and made it a priority. The second the season's over for us, we are going to nail this kid, lock him down. I'm going to make him my number one priority. Head coaches don't always do that with a caliber of athlete, caliber of player of Daxton Hill's abilities. Nick Saban put together a 3-year, here's how we're going to take you to Alabama, special teams, impact player year 1, starter years 2 and 3, first round NFL draft pick. We're in and out in 3 years, not even dilly-dallying about thinking about a red shirt or staying for 4 years. Saban hand recruited him, committed to Michigan back in September. Nick Saban got him to flip on December 8th over the weekend. And that is 4 Harbaugh heads. Nick Saban, the best who's ever done it, and certainly better than Jim Harbaugh when it comes to securing this 5-star safety. But, as we said just a moment ago, there is still a possibility, it seems, that Dax Hill may reconsider Michigan, although I still think it's unlikely that it'll happen, that he'll flip twice in a matter of a week. But keep some hope alive. Don't go smashing your phone when you hear that he sticks with Alabama or anything like that. But just keep a little hope alive. 4 Harbaugh heads. Nick Saban secured Dax Hill by hand recruiting him. All right, the other 5-star that Michigan is going up against, a national power, their own rival down south in Ohio, Ohio State, Michigan. Zach Harrison will announce in the most Barry Sanders-like way you can. Handle the ball the way after he scored a touchdown. Just going to send a tweet out where he's going to commit. Will not have any press conferences. Will not have any live streaming on Twitter, live streaming this. No ceremonies at his school. He will tweet it out, and he will be at that school in a matter of weeks. So that is the word. Ari Wasserman, a known Ohio State reporter, says he's just going to tweet it out. He's going to tweet out his college decision next Wednesday. National Signing Day, the second early National Signing Day in history, just like last year, again this year. He's going to tweet it out. He's been consistent with what he's done in the past. He's not been a guy to do a ton of interviews, not a guy who is talks a lot about his recruitment or is big on social media. So keep an eye out if you're not following Zach Harrison. Make sure you do before next Wednesday, National Signing Day. Want to give you the URL and the deal again. Get hooked up to bet on sports this football season, this bowl season, NFL playoffs, NBA, and of course the Wolverine basketball team all through March Madness to a Final Four run. BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GOBLUE, and Uncle Jimmy is now Santa Jimmy. You get signed up, you get a Michigan football jersey, the maize #1, the Harbaugh blue #4, or this really cool baseball-style t-shirt with a big block M and the Jordan on the front, maize and blue. You get that, plus you get a 120% deposit bonus. I've gone to bat for you. You're my people, so I said, look, no more BetDSI unless we get the best promo code ever, and they let you hook you up. Promo code GOBLUE, 120% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet's the website. Type in that promo code GOBLUE. Hit me on the DM on Twitter and just say, yo, I'm good with BetDSI, baby. I'll get some info, and we will put one of these bad boys in your mailbox. The Michigan Football Report Holiday Giveaway. We only do the show because we love y'all, and now we're going to hook you up a step further. Get started now, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GOBLUE. Zach Harrison, the top 10 player in the country from outside of Columbus. Long thought to be an Ohio State lean. Lately, I've been telling you, hey, look, he's all day, all Michigan. Was reconsidering things after the 62-39 beatdown a few weeks back. Urban Meyer retires after that. Now, Zach Harrison, I am told, is torn. So again, this is one of 3 Harbaugh heads that he is pretty much 50-50. If he goes with his gut feeling, you see in that third line down there, it's that Urban Meyer, that was one of the reasons he started looking towards Ohio State after the Zach Smith scandal Michigan after the Zach Smith scandal over the summer. Started looking north of Michigan. Really liked Sharon Moore, some other people that were recruiting him, Jim Harbaugh. Urban Meyer leaving actually helps Ohio State, but deep down, he definitely wants to leave Columbus area, sees Michigan as the best option, but was shook, it's a word the kids are using, by that Michigan loss to Ohio State, was embarrassed, and his friends and his family are pushing hard for Ohio State. So if it's friends, family, coaches, you're going to end up with the Buckeyes. If he goes with his gut, it seems like he'll end up at Michigan, but I have absolutely no read on what he's going to do at this point, although a week and a half, 3 weeks ago before the Ohio State game, I thought it was 99% likely that he was going to end up a Wolverine. So Zach Harrison will commit next Wednesday, 1 week from today, signing day. You're going to get all the coverage here on Chat Sports, so stick with us then. Have a Michigan football trivia question. We're going to we're going to put the word out. I want to see you guys watching live on Facebook or on my Twitter account. Get going below. I want to see who knows their stuff, because I kind of sometimes think that some people think Michigan football started in like 2014 or something like that. I want to know from you, how good of a historian are you? When is the last time a Michigan quarterback attempted 50 passes in a game? Certainly hasn't been recently. Shea Patterson, as high was somewhere in the 30s. Last time a Michigan QB. Name the year, name the opponent, name the quarterback. Love to hear if anybody could get this. No Googling, no Googling. Comment below, Facebook Live, YouTube, and James T. Yoder live on Twitter. Last quarterback to throw 50 passes in a game. All right, this Friday, offensive lineman Trevor Keegan out of the state of Illinois is going to announce his commitment. Is he going to Michigan? Is he all blue? A potential future Big Ten lineman headed to the winged helmet? I'm actually going to give this one 4 Harbaugh heads. And although it seemed for a while that he was heading to Georgia, was really enamored with them, paid out of his pocket several times to head down to Athens. All of the crystal balls from people who follow his recruitment closer than I, 94% of them are coming in saying he will choose Michigan. I've got a source that's got a friend of a friend that had some insight into his visit to Michigan a while back and said that he was giving assurances to fellow recruits then that he was coming to Michigan. We'll announce Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Michigan, Georgia, Penn State. Although he's an offensive lineman, he is rocking the football in this photo like he's a tight end or a fullback. And you notice where subliminal messaging here. He's running towards Michigan. He's turning his back on Georgia and Penn State. Okay, this is just straight up. What's that movie, Lena? This is like the Illuminati right here. He's like sending us messages through his Twitter account. Running towards Michigan, the light shining on the maize block M. 6:30 Friday. We'll be all over this one. Won't be live for that one, but we'll bring it to you on Twitter account. So keep an eye out for that one. Trevor Keegan could be Michigan's next big commit leading up to next Wednesday's signing day. Get Michigan Football Report on Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is type in chatsports.com/Yoder. Drops right in the podcast app. Press subscribe or say, "Hey Siri, subscribe to the Michigan Football Podcast." And then it'll do one of these bad boys. You'll say yes, and you will be subscribed. Get an alert every time we have a new episode. 3 episodes today, baby. We are bringing you all the content. Next rumor up, we talked about this morning, the emergency press conference. I went, live in front of a mass contingency of media that came to hear what I had to say. 5 Michigan football players will sit out a bowl game. I'm giving this one 4 Harbaugh heads. I speculated this morning. These names are not confirmed yet, but my source says these are the guys that are not practicing this week. So, hey, connect some dots here, James. You can figure it out. Here's the list right here. Rashawn Gary, obviously confirmed, has already stated, Jim Harbaugh has, that he will not participate in the bowl practices, will not go on the trip to the bowl game, won't play. Devin Bush, Karan Higdon, captains of the damn team, are likely players not going to play in the bowl game. Karan Higdon is going to play in the Senior Bowl, but not the Michigan Football Bowl, which I find out. The cornerback duo of Lavert Hill and David Long, both juniors. Hill, whose brother Delano is in the NFL, and David Long out of Southern California. 2-year starters. Those are the 5 guys that are likely to skip bowl game. I am not a fan of it, but it is what it is at this point. Expect this news to trickle out, be confirmed this week, given that Michigan is now practicing in advance of the December 29th bowl game against Florida. Speaking of that bowl game, scale of 1 to 10. Let's push aside the players sitting out. Imagine it's full strength, maybe just down Rashawn Gary. How excited are you? Scale of 1 to 10. 1's the lowest, 10's the highest. You guys are smart. You know what that is. Type below. How excited are you for this game? Because I'll tell you what, folks. If Michigan loses, I'm just going to be like, oh, this is a disaster. But it's like a 3 or 4 for me. It really is. This will be the 5th matchup for Florida since 2002, 4th bowl game since 2002. Jim Harbaugh's 3rd dang time playing Florida in his 4 seasons. He's played Florida more than he's played Northwestern and Iowa. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. But that's Michigan's opponent, 1 to 10. How excited are you for the Florida matchup versus in the Peach Bowl, December 29th? All right. Let's keep it rolling. Got some Michigan offensive coordinator coaching news to talk about coming up. Was told that Jim Harbaugh, Pep Hamilton didn't see eye to eye this year as Pep was given more responsibilities on the offensive play calling side. And it's not what you think. I think some people think that Pep Hamilton may be the guy holding the Michigan offensive passing attack back. Sounds like it may be Jim Harbaugh. So here's what I was told. Pep wants to throw the ball more. Jim Harbaugh maybe want to throw the ball more, but he doesn't like the route trees and the play calls that Pep wants to put into play and gives Pep the ability to put in a passing game plan. Harbaugh doesn't like what he sees, doesn't think they're going to be high percentage plays, so he turns most of them down, spins off, and goes back to more of a running attack. So sounds like Harbaugh is actually starting to open up to being more of a pass-happy offense. Pep wants to be more of a pass-happy offense, but Harbaugh is not a fan of the style of passing plays that Pep has brought to the playbook in this year as kind of an upgrade from his passing game coordinator, quarterback role that he had in 2017 with Tim Drevno being the offensive coordinator. So a little bit of smoke out there that they weren't seeing eye to eye like they were arguing about it, but that hey, here's my suggestion, Harbaugh. Okay, I'll take it into account, and then does something different or discredits it when it is game time. So keep an eye out for this one. A little smoke out there that Pep Hamilton may not be as glued to Jim Harbaugh as we all may think. All right, keep it rolling with some coaching news. I'm told that it is possible Jim Harbaugh is going to start putting some feelers out there for who he may want to hire as his first full-time offensive coordinator named offensive coordinator, solo offensive coordinator in over a year. So 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. Told that Jim Harbaugh has made a few calls to some former people he used to work with to see maybe would they be interested. Stanford people, 49ers people, you know all the names. Also some people he trusts, offensive minds he trusts, and say, hey, who would you prefer? Who would you think I should hire if I'm going for someone who can do X, Y, and Z? I've still got my list of candidates. Jed Fish, the former Michigan passing game coordinator in 15 and 16. Cale Gundy, we've seen what he's done. Basically put together 2 straight Heisman Trophy winners, Baker Mayfield last year, and of course Kyler Murray. Mike Yurcich of Oklahoma State. Brian Wright, my boy from Toledo. Shane Waldron, the passing game coordinator from the Rams, are the top 5 I have. If those don't work out, some bigger names. Some others to consider: Kendall Briles, Houston offensive coordinator, not Art Briles. He wasn't, I know people say, Briles, can't have him. Charlie Weiss Jr., the 25-year-old, wonder kid under Lane Kiffin down there at the FAU. Larry Fedora, Mike Johnson, wide receivers coach at Oregon, who's had a long history with Jim Harbaugh. And then Tavita Pritchard, the former Stanford quarterback, who has been the offensive coordinator for Stanford, has them with a great passing game, pretty good passing game, actually struggled on the ground this year with Bryce Love, so that might be a tough sell for Jim Harbaugh if Tavita Pritchard becomes a candidate. So that is the list of guys if Jim Harbaugh considers an outside offensive coordinator for the 2019 season. And with that, some people have said, James, your approval rating with Michigan fans is higher than Harbaugh's this day. So I got to ask this question, folks. I mean, this is just out there. I like feedback from you. You guys tell me to do things. We change things up. The ratings go up to the roof. Michigan's wins aren't going up to the roof. They're kind of going up and down. So you can only choose one. Jim. We're both named James. Short Jim. I don't go by it. Harbaugh, Yoder. You can only choose one. Y for Yoder. H for Harbaugh. Get the comments going. Clearly just joking around here, folks. But give me a Y or an H. If you could only choose one, either the Michigan Football Report goes away or Harbaugh goes away, but the show stays. Which would you choose, Y or H? YouTube, Facebook Live, and my Twitter account. Let me know. I want to know, hey, do I have a chance to, have I won your heart just like James Harbaugh himself has? So keep it rolling with some Michigan football coaching news. Ed Warinner is a candidate for an offensive coordinator job, several offensive coordinator jobs. I have been told that mid-tier Power 5 programs are reaching out to Warinner, so it's 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. Ed Warinner, former offensive coordinator at Ohio State, was the co-OC with in 2014 when they won the national title with Tom Herman, also previously OC at Kansas when they had that Orange Bowl year, 12-1 season in 2007. Michigan is planning, I was told, a big pay raise, a bigger compensation package, longer-term guaranteed compensation package. They don't necessarily want to give him the OC job, but they want to make it a no-brainer where the money and the security is so good that he would never dare jump to, let's say, just throwing a name out there, a Maryland, or jump to, a Vanderbilt, just totally throwing those names out, but a mid-level Power 5 school. So Ed Warinner, big time, difference this year. Offensive line, Little John Runyon became an all Big Ten player under Ed Warinner. Michigan really needs to keep him on staff, I believe. So they're going to put together a package to keep him aboard. All right, Shea Patterson, my man Shea Patterson, one of the great years after a decade plus of futility at the quarterback role. Shea Patterson, great year this year. Came in with a one and done, was going to come to Michigan under Jim Harbaugh, 1 year to the NFL. Now it seems like that is not going to happen. One is because he didn't get enough maybe opportunity to pass this year. Also, not getting the NFL grades that he would hope for. Wants to come back maybe a Baker Mayfield style jump from a third rounder, fourth rounder, fifth rounder to up to a first rounder if he can put together the numbers. Of course, Baker Mayfield did. So 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. Shea Patterson, I'm kind of feeling it's pretty good. It's pretty likely he is going to return, although not confirmed. You never know. If it throws for 400 in the bowl game, you never know what's going to happen with these things. 65% completion, 2,364 yards, 21 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions, a 4.25 to 1 TD to interception ratio, one of the better in Michigan football history. So Shea Patterson, trending is going to come back. A lot of his boys from that 2016 class are heading elsewhere, heading to the NFL. Shea Patterson, pretty likely he will return. You know who's not going to return in mass exodus? It seems that Ohio State is going to be facing an exodus to the NFL. One similar to that I thought Michigan could have had this year should Shea Patterson, Bredesen, and Khalil Hudson, Josh Metellus, guys like that had a little bit better years and be higher rated NFL prospects. Been told 2 Harbaugh heads in this one that there are as many as 10 guys who are seriously considering leaving Ohio State early as juniors or even redshirt sophomores. A guy like Dwayne Haskins is going to return for 2 years. So here is the list of players, pretty evenly split. You've got them there highlighted by Dwayne Haskins and Nick Bosa, likely first pick in the draft. Haskins could be the first quarterback taken. We all know Mike Weber, former Michigan commit. KJ Hill tore Michigan up. Michael Jordan, not just a basketball player, also the center for the Buckeyes. So 4 on offense, 6 guys on defense. So you have 2 defensive linemen, Bosa, and all Big Ten, All-American level, Drummond Jones at D-tackle, Malik Harrison, Kendall Sheffield, and Damon Arnett, the cornerback combo. So they will be facing the loss of both cornerbacks like Michigan if those guys both go pro. And then their safety, Jordan Fuller. So as many as 10 Ohio State players. Look, if the quarterback Haskins goes pro, Day comes in, Urban's out, and 10 guys or 8 guys or 7 guys, if a ton of guys go, that bodes very well for the University of Michigan in the future, and Jim Harbaugh being able to get that first win after an 0-4 start versus the Buckeyes. Is a 4-star wide receiver about to commit to the Wolverines? I'm giving this one 2 Harbaugh heads. People are talking. I think this one's still up in the air for Cornelius-Johnson. So Cornelius-Johnson out of the Northeast. His mom is a Michigan grad. His dad is a Stanford grad. So it's a power couple right there. He's obviously got a good head on his shoulders with those kind of parents. Is going to decide between these 5 schools, Stanford, Alabama, Penn State, Michigan, and Notre Dame. Will be in Ann Arbor this weekend. Will announce next Wednesday, December 19th, on signing day from his high school, Brunswick School. So keep an eye on this one. Look, with Michigan losing these juniors this year, and that's kind of become a trend, guys leaving, not having a ton of wide receiver options other than Ronnie Bell, of course, last year's class. They really need some wide receivers, or they're going to be have a big gap in wide receiver talent in a couple of years. So Cornelius-Johnson will be a player that Michigan absolutely should recruit, but would be a great addition to this class. So hold out hope for this one. I don't know. There's a lot of split. Some people think Stanford, Notre Dame, etc. A lot of split thoughts on him. No real consensus. But 2 Harbaugh heads. He's considering Michigan. Mom went there. We will see if he ends up a Wolverine next Wednesday. All right. Let's give the answer to that trivia question. The last Michigan quarterback to throw 50 times in the game, Chad Henne. True freshman Chad Henne. In a loss in Columbus in 2004, Michigan went down there, touchdown plus favorite, playing for the Big Ten championship, which they still got because another team lost that day. Threw it 54 times in a 37-21, if my memory serves me correct, loss to the Buckeyes on that day. All right, last rumor, the fakest of the news, but nevertheless, I saw this one. Someone sent me a link to a message board. I went on there, and I'm just like, what planet am I living in? Are people really this ridiculous that this is why Michigan lost to Ohio State? Is because all these guys going pro are going to get the same agent and the same agency, and they all told them, "Hey guys, you're going to beat Ohio State no matter what. So you guys should take it easy. Don't risk injury. Kind of coast against the Buckeyes. Give me a break. I mean, fake news. No one's going to go into a game and coast and dog it just because their agent tells them to. And certainly not in mass that all the players that are leaving and going pro were dogging it, especially on the defensive side. So if you see this rumor out there, if you see people saying this would happen, fake news, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't happen. All right, I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media. We will be back tomorrow with more Michigan football rumors. So until then, go blue.